career. My career has been long enough now that I've seen a bunch of crises. I saw the Asian flu crisis. I think that was like 96 or something like that when I was in private practice. Dot-com bubble 2000. Saw the global financial crisis 2008. Another crash 2015. I think the lesson, if you've had a career, that's longer than I think 10 years, you start to see cycles. And what you learn is you have to be, resilience. There's a great book out called Anti-Fragile, and the premise of it is to run a corporation with a mind to how to navigate periods of stress. So you should always expect that something unexpected is going to happen, and make sure your company, your business, your personal situation is robust enough that you can weather the storm. I'd say, I work for Suncor. They learned for sure from the financial crisis in 2008. That was slightly traumatic. But they made it through, and they bolstered their balance sheet. They really focused on financial discipline and operations reliability. So I think they were in very good shape going into 2020. But one of my responsibilities in my current role, corporate strategy, but also manage the corporate capital plan for Suncor. So what do we spend money on? And, making sure that we get returns to shareholders that they expect. It was definitely traumatic when you see oil prices not just going to zero, but going negative. Massive impact to cash flow. The costs continue, right? Your overhead costs continue, your people costs continue. So thankfully, Suncor had a strong enough balance sheet they could weather that storm, but nobody knew how long it was going to last. So there was I don't want to say panic, concern. There was concern amongst the Suncor executives, definitely not panic, concern. And everybody was just trying to figure out, okay, what do we need to do to navigate this? We knew we had to dramatically reduce costs and dramatically reduce the cash outflow of the company. We had just finished actually the capital budget for 2020 at the beginning of the year. So normally that's a process that takes us, 6 months to come up with a capital plan for the upcoming year. We redid it all in 2 weeks, on the fly, not knowing what was going to happen, not knowing how things would turn out, how long things would last. So I think that was probably the most stressful part of it was figuring out, okay, what are the levers that we can pull to maintain financial resiliency and to make sure that we don't jeopardize the company's future. Super interesting. And I think what the positive out of that was it shows you what's possible, right? Unless you stress yourself, you don't really know what you can do. Same thing with companies. And until you have to react to a stressful or traumatic situation, you don't know what's possible. And I think it showed us what was possible. It showed us where we could reduce cost to. It showed us the productivity improvements we could get from labor in the field. And there was a lot of innovation that was happening as well as a result because it had to. So I think challenge breeds innovation.